Okay, let's talk about drawings. We're going to start setting up our drawings, and I'm going to start with the foundation uh, drawing, and we'll go through and make some settings and get you rolling with that. If you do not have a level for the basement, this is just my basement floor level, and that's where I'm putting all of my dimensions and notes and all that kind of stuff. Uh, mm, I may have put the slab in on that level. I don't remember, but a lot of the other stuff was done on the foundation level or the footing level. Like before, we're using a level not so much for building, but for the printing. So it's my basement floor level. If you don't have it, you can copy one or you can create you a new one and then pop your dimensions and all that kind of stuff in. Um, but this is what we're going to use on our drawings. So I've set my scale to a 1/4 inch and I've got it set for normal display or hidden lines and a medium detail level. That works fine for this one. Okay. I went ahead and put a title on the sheet, called it Foundation Plan, and let's see, and let's look at visibility and graphics here. There's a lot of things here that could be turned off, but most specifically, turned off floors. I turned off all the site kind of stuff, plantings, parking, roads. Okay. Um, and topography. I came in here on my structural foundation and I did an override on the line type and I choose the hidden 3/8 inch line type. That's going to make our footings um, show up with a hidden line. And then I came in here on the surface pattern and I unchecked the visibility of those so that the concrete pattern on the footings will not show up. Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay. Back to, okay, on things that I turned off. mm, In my structural framing, I turned off joist and other because I don't want my floor joist to show up and or any of that wood type stuff. Now, we can play with that with our view range, but this just makes it a quicker, easier way to do that. So I turned those off, but I left the other ones on because our beam is tagged as a girder. Okay. Over here on annotations, the main thing I wanted to turn off was elevations and grids and reference lines and reference planes right here. And eventually we're going to come back and turn off the plan region, but we're going to leave it on while we're working with plan regions. Then we'll come back and turn that off again. Okay. All right. Underlay, there should be none. Okay. And view range, right now I've got it set like this. We may play with that a little bit. We're just gonna have to see how things go with it. But right now we're set at 0, 6, and then unlimited going down. All right. Now plan regions. I don't remember if we did this when we were actually putting these things in or not. I don't remember. But if not, here you go. Here's what you do. You go view, plan views, you go plan region, and then you you draw a rectangle. I could have gone to the rectangle mode there. And then you can adjust the view range here to something different than what your plan has. Okay. And I'm just going to cancel out of that one. What you end up with is this dash line like this. And we need one around the beam. And it doesn't have to go, um, as a matter of fact, it doesn't need to go all the way through. I think it, let's see. Yeah, it needs to pick up the beam pocket. It doesn't have to go all the way through the wall because you end up with um, the wood frame wall on this end. So you can see right here, so it's picking up the wood frame wall. So I'm going to put it there. Yeah. Maybe I could play with my view range and get 6 inches. Yeah, because um, mm, mm, mm. Hmm. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, that worked better because now it's picking up my beam pocket. Okay, so I put one in there, made top 0 and cut plane -1. I just wanted it to cut through the beam and the beam pocket, so it could be anywhere from 1 to 6 or 7 or something like that. Okay, so you need one for there, and then you'll also need one here at the garage door so that it picks up the notch that we've made in the garage for the garage door. And there's the settings that I had on that, so it's okay. All right. And then I did a hatched region to fill in where that notch is, um, so that it looks different than the other stuff. So I did a fill region for that. Um, Plan regions, okay. And then the beam, check this just to make sure, but click on your beam and come over here. Structural usage should be set to girder if it disappeared or something. Okay, and so once and along those same lines, if you've got any floor joists that are showing up, any wood framing, check it and make sure the structural usage for it is set to joist or other. If it's a joist, it should be set to joist. Okay, then we can come back to our visibility and graphics, go to annotation, and we'll turn off plan region. Where'd you go? Right there. So that hides the dash lines around that. Okay. Okay. Tags. We'll start window tags here, and you can place one, and then we want to edit the family. And I'll click on it and go to label, edit label. And in this one, I'm setting it, the default is type mark. So I'm going to leave it at type mark. And let me show you what my reasoning is on this window schedule. Okay, if the way you do your tags and window schedule is going to vary by project. In this project, we could do it like we did in the previous class, in which all windows that are identical have the same identifying number. Okay. In a previous project that we had last year in the other class, we had the same windows going through the project, but they had different header heights. So we had to number every window individually like we would doors. But in this case, because all of our head heights for the window types are the same, we can keep type mark as our identifier on the windows. And if you need it the other way, to where all windows are identified separately, then you need to use the mark. And with mark, that is carries over to they're all individual. Okay, so I've set my window schedule up with these things, and you can go ahead and set that up. Also, check your header heights to make sure that they're correct. Um, and I use these fields. Okay, and so that pulled in all the information that I needed. And once you get it set up, I'm going to delete this B column because I don't want mark anymore. And I'm going to change the type marks to letters. And I'll show you my reasoning for this in just a moment. Okay, and so these will be C. Anyway, I'm going to change them so that they're all unique. Because this is a normal way of doing things. The reason we did it, like I was explaining, differently in the other project was because we had different header heights for identical windows. Here, our header heights are all the same. So I can do that. And now I'm going to take out the mark column because you don't need that. And then in my sorting and grouping, I want to sort by type mark. And you know, if I had to do something otherwise, we had identical windows on different levels or whatever, then I could apply more, you know, sorting options in there. Okay, and so this is what our window schedule will look like when we put it in our project. But as far as uh, here goes with our tag, you may have to edit it. I don't remember, but we want it to be with type mark and not mark. Okay, and then you can apply all of your you can apply your window tags in the basement and in the first floor. And I put them in no leaders. I drug them in a little bit closer to the house, and then I drug my extension lines a little bit outside of that. Okay, so uh, okay, window tags, and then the same way with door tags. Well, door tags, I'm pretty sure I left them the same as far as the label goes. It is set to mark. I think that is what I want. Let's go to the door schedule and see. Mark is fine because that's every individual instance of the door. Okay. Now, when you tag them on the first floor, yeah. Oh, excuse me. And you can see the fields that I brought in here. Um, the first floor actually has two tags on it because it's got the door jamb and frame, and then the door panel itself is a different door embedded within the assembly. So it comes up with two different marks, which is this one right here at the bottom. Now what I did is I created my door schedule, and then I came in here and renumbered all my marks. I actually did the renumbering in the floor plan. I started at the front here with door number 1, door number 2, 3, and as I worked my way through the house. and renumbered them. You can do them here, you can do them there. Now, where it shows up with two of them on the front door, one of them I think I deleted it on the plan view here, but here I left it the original number, which is like 30 something, or make it a number higher than, 16 or 17, make it higher than what you want. And then what we'll do is we'll hide that one so it doesn't show up in our door schedule. And I just put the panel number up here, okay, in my comment section. And then this door 36 is the door that I shortened to go in the kitchen for the pantry. It's not a typical standard door that would be ordered. It would come, really as part of the cabinetry package more than likely. So I left it in here, but I put it down here. And then when we go to set this up for our drawings, we'll sort and it will hide those two lines. But I do wanted to show you that because you're going to tag all of your doors. Okay. You're going to tag the beam, and just like everything else, you go annotate, tag by category, and then you go to, I turned off that, and then you go to click on the beam. Of course, I've already got it tagged. Oh, I'm in the drawing, sorry, no wonder. But like I said, I've already got it tagged there once. So you tag that and kind of get it centered up and moved around. Okay, all of your text, I created me a new 1/4-inch text size with the city blueprint bold, and I'm using that for room names and headers here in the basement, because in the basement we don't have actual rooms. And so I created that. You just go edit type, duplicate, okay, give it a name, search through right here, find the font you want, and make your settings. Okay. Everything else is 3/32 Arial. Okay. And when you're doing general notes like this, it's best if you can set them up to be horizontal centered. Okay. On your leaders, if the arrow is on it, and you'll have to play with this over here, it looks better with all the leaders attached to the top, and the horizontal alignment, if the arrow's on the right, align to the right. If the arrow's on the left, align to the left. It just looks better. Okay. So text, and get your notes in, your dimensions in. Don't worry too much about section cutting planes right now, because we're going to deal with those later. And then I'll come back in the next video and we'll pop this into a drawing sheet.